20,000 years ago, the northern edge of the world was ruled by ice. Vast sheets of frozen land stretched across continents, sculpted by wind and time. The Arctic then was not silent, but filled with the deep, constant murmur of an Earth still alive beneath the cold. Here, the last giants of the Ice Age endured the woolly mammoths. They were the architects of this frozen ecosystem. Towering more than 3 meters tall and weighing up to 8 tons, these colossal herbivores were built for a world of endless winter. A dense coat of layered fur, a thick pad of insulating fat, and long, curved tusks made them perfectly adapted to survive where few creatures could. Their massive feet spread their weight evenly over snow, and their trunks, both tool and lifeline, searched beneath the frost for the withered grasses buried below. Across the frozen plains, herds moved in slow, deliberate rhythm. Generation after generation, they followed ancient migration routes carved into memory long before any human footprint appeared. Each journey spanned hundreds of kilometers, from the low valleys of Siberia to the tundras that would one day be known as Alaska and Canada. The land they crossed was harsh and alive. Winds howled across the ice, carrying fine crystals that cut like glass. The temperature rarely rose above freezing. Beneath the frozen surface lay entire rivers trapped in silence. Yet within this desolation, life persisted. Bison, musk, oxen, prehistoric horses, and, occasionally, the shadow of a predator, the saber-toothed cat, or the cave lion lurking just beyond the light. In the distance, a herd gathers against the wind. Their breath forms clouds that drift and vanish instantly. When a storm rises, they close ranks, pressing flank to flank. The adults form a living wall, their enormous bodies shielding the young at the center. Snow swirls around them, erasing the horizon, turning the world to pure white. They do not run, they wait. Endurance is their only weapon. Hours later, the blizzard fades. The land is reshaped once more. What was flat is now buried beneath drifts taller than a mammoth's shoulders. But the herd resumes its slow advance, driven not by choice, but by instinct, a pulse older than the cold itself. The sound of their movement, soft, rhythmic, deliberate, is the heartbeat of the Pleistocene. Spring in the Ice Age is brief, fragile, almost imaginary. For a few short weeks, the sun rises higher, melting the upper crust of snow. Streams begin to form, cutting through the ice in narrow veins. The tundra darkens, revealing moss and sedge.
A deep cracking sound from below.
For light. Birds return, insects hum, and the silence of months is broken. For the mammoths, this is abundance. Their trunks tear up the first shoots of green. Their tusks scrape frost from the earth. Calves taste fresh water for the first time. But warmth in this world is temporary. Even as the ground softens, the glaciers beyond the horizon continue to move slow, unstoppable rivers of ice. As the weeks pass, the light dims again. The winds regain their edge. The herd must travel farther in search of food, following melting rivers toward lower valleys. Their ancient paths cross landscapes that no longer exist in the modern world. Vast steppes of frozen grassland, dotted with volcanic steam vents and shallow lakes rimmed with ice. They are never alone. In the fog of early morning, the silhouettes of other Ice Age creatures move in parallel. Giant bison herds, woolly rhinoceroses, reindeer, foxes, all depend on the same fragile balance of cold and time. When predators appear, the mammoths respond not with panic, but with formation. The herd contracts. The largest adults turn outward, tusks poised like the branches of an armored forest. For smaller hunters, that is enough. Few dare to approach. In the rare calm between storms, the Arctic reveals a different beauty. The low sun paints the snow in gold and silver. Steam rises from melting streams. The mammoths move across this world with a patience that suggests eternity. Their migration is not just survival, it shapes the land itself. As they
push this
graze,
snow
trample,
aside.
and dig through snow, they keep the tundra open, preventing forests from taking root. Their presence defines an entire biome, the mammoth steppe. As night returns, the temperature drops again. Frost forms on every strand of fur. The stars above are sharp and countless. And then, from the far horizon, a glow appears, the aurora. Curtains of green and violet ripple across the sky. The herd stands motionless beneath it, their shadows stretching across the snow. For a few silent minutes, the Ice Age world glows with an otherworldly light. Yet even here, time does not stand still. The world beneath the ice is changing. Far to the south, the climate warms, glaciers begin to retreat, and new species rise. But for now, the Arctic remains loyal to its winter. The mammoths move onward, unaware that their age is nearing its end. When the winds grow stronger again, the herd presses northward, where the cold still reigns. They travel across a frozen sea, the ice singing beneath their weight. Cracks echo in the distance like thunder trapped underground. But they keep walking. For them, this sound is not warning, it is memory. In the twilight of the Ice Age, the sun no longer rises high. Days blur into nights of dim blue light. Each mammoth breath condenses into mist that drifts like smoke across the plain. They move slower now, conserving strength, guided by scent and memory through the endless white. Eventually, they reach a valley untouched by thaw. There, beneath cliffs of ancient ice, lies a field of preserved grass, the last refuge of their kind. The herd spreads out to feed, their trunks sweeping snow aside. Around them, the air hums faintly, as if the land itself is listening. For hundreds of thousands of years, their ancestors have walked this world. They have endured fire, ice, and time itself. But the age of giants is fading. The balance that sustained them is shifting beyond repair. In a few thousand years, the ice will melt, the grasslands will vanish, and forests will rise where tundra once stood. Yet on this day, 20,000 years ago, none of that matters. The herd continues its march through the cold light of the Arctic, beneath a sky of drifting snow. Each step presses their story deeper into the earth. Stories that will one day be uncovered as bones, tusks, and frozen flesh. To those who find them, they will seem like ghosts of another world. But here, now, they are alive, breathing, moving, enduring. The wind howls again. Snow swirls, blurring the horizon. The herd closes ranks, their silhouettes merging into one massive form against the storm. This is how they have always lived. This is how they will be remembered, long after the last one falls. The echo of their footsteps will remain imprinted in the frozen soil, whispered through the wind, carried across the ages, and in that silence, the Arctic will remember them, the giants who walked through eternal winter.